friends. How are you guys doing today? I hope everybody's having a great day. Thanks for stopping in, hanging out with me, and talking for a little while about some movies. Today, guys, we're talking about a movie from 1976, directed by Kevin Connor, called At the Earth's Core. Guys, this was really fun. But before we get into it, hit that like and subscribe button for me. Guys, this stars Peter Cushing, Doug McClure, and Carolyn Monroe. That's right. That 76 pot, that beautiful woman of Sinbad fame, Carolyn Monroe is in this. And man, she is stunning. And she's great in this. She gives a good performance. She's not just eye candy, if you will. She gives a good performance. So this is directed by Kevin Connor. It is basically, there's this machine. Peter Cushing is like a scientist, right? And he's on this machine and he's going to drill into the earth and it gets out of control. And it drills him down to this place called Pellucidar, right? And it's like kind of like an Agartha type place where it's like a world inside the center of our world. How that makes sense? I don't know, but that's what it is. And so we have, you know, Peter Cushing is the scientist. Doug McClure is kind of like the muscle. And the weird thing is, I was looking into Doug McClure because, you know, I just wanted to see the actors in this. And Doug McClure and Kevin Connor have made like 6 or 7 movies together. And they are all prehistoric sci-fi fantasy films. And the thing is, Doug McClure, he was in Maverick, Humanoids of the Deep. He's been in quite a few different films, but all the ones that involve prehistoric stuff and center of the earth type stuff and you know, back in prehistoric time stuff, that's all Kevin Connor and Doug McClure. He's always been in those films with him. So I'm curious, maybe I should ask you guys or ChatGPT or someone like that, were they related? Were they just good friends? Did they you know, go to acting school together? Because I'm curious as to why Doug McClure and Kevin Connor had so many movies together and why they were only prehistoric, like, you know, sci-fi fantasy pictures. To me, that was something interesting that I found out about this film, and I'd like to know. Maybe I should have researched it beforehand. But hey, audience participation, right? You guys, let me know what that's about. But this is good, guys. So they get down there. They find these 2 opposing tribes. Carolyn Monroe's a princess. She falls in love with, I think it's Doug McClure. Yeah, she falls in love with McClure. And we just follow them, you know, through their trials and tribulations of trying to get back to the surface, right? And this has got great special effects. This has got just, I mean, they're all practical. But I love the way that some of these scenes are filmed and the way that the cinematography is able to capture the special effect where it's not obvious. So, of course, we've got our monsters, little miniatures and plastic creatures and rubber guys in rubber suits and, you know, typical 1970s fare, you know? Okay, cool. But then we also have scenes where they're like traversing pits of lava and things like that. And you can tell that the backgrounds are painted images and they're walking over like a beam that these images are transposed onto. I love that. And that technique had been being used since like the 1920s. And I love that they were still using it because this is a year, 1976, a year before special effects in cinema is revolutionized by Star Wars. Right? We're still using miniatures. We're still using dudes in suits. We're still using, you know, just these outdated techniques from the 1920s. They were still using those. And then in 1977, Star Wars just busts the special effects bubble. And we get from the 70s to the like mid 90s until the garbage CGI decided that we were going to start using that. It was like a renaissance, in my opinion, of special effects. And it's cool to see in this film I don't want to say outdated, but the predecessor to the innovation of Star Wars. I thought that was really cool. And Peter Cushing, he's in both. He has a hand in both, in the classical and in the Renaissance. And I loved it. I thought that his acting in this is fantastic. We have this kind of happy-go-lucky, bumbling professor who's, he's like, whoa, when he does something wrong. In this film, to the cold, calculating Moff Tarkin in Star Wars. He destroys Alderaan. And in this one, he's shooting giant lizards in a lava cave. And it is so great, guys. It is definitely something you should definitely check out. I liked it. I enjoyed it. In fact, if I ever find a physical copy anywhere, I'm not going to buy a digital copy unless it's like $1.99. But if I ever find a physical copy, DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, I'm buying this because it truly is one of those films that even if you don't necessarily enjoy the story, enjoy the movie itself, you will enjoy what it brings to the table as far as the action, as far as the special effects. You will definitely appreciate that, especially when you realize where it was at in the timeline of how special, the innovation and renaissance of special effects. It's a fantastic film. Highly recommended. If you want to check it out, guys, it's streaming on Prime, streaming on Tubi. I recommend it, guys. Give it a shot. Thanks for hanging around with me and talking for just a little while about At the Earth's Core. I really appreciate it. You guys hit me up in the comments section. Let me know if you've seen it, if you enjoyed it, if you didn't enjoy it, if you thought it was stupid, if you thought it was flatter than a plate of PP, whatever. Let me know, guys. Thanks for stopping in. Hit that like and subscribe button. I'm going to keep making them as long as you keep watching them. Peace out, my friends. God bless you, and I will see you soon.